It is April 29th at 7:14 in 2026. How you doing, John?
I'm doing okay.
Good. I mean, okay is better than bad, I should say.
Yeah, I just realized how much fees I was paying by swapping Bitcoin back and forth on chain and made myself a little sick to my stomach.
Rough.
But this is not going to be a episode on that. I want to talk about pirate money some more
Yeah,
because there's
okay.
a lot of pirate money things happening in the world.
That's right. There sure are. Well, where do you want to start?
Um, oh, that chart makes me want to talk about charts, but we can talk about chart. I don't want to talk about charts today. We'll do that next time.
Okay.
Um, Well, there's the 51% attack on Monero, which, let's see, let me send you this CoinDesk article. Let me see if this is a good article.
Yeah,
There's the recent Litecoin reorg, block
hmm
reorganization, and then there's the also
Tether.
the United States government froze what $340 million of Tether on the
344
Tron blockchain that belonged to Iran.
that they
So apparently
allegedly.
Iran did not watch our last episode.
No, they did not.
They would have learned that their tether on Tron was freezable and seizable, but they didn't watch it. They're like, it's just as good as Bitcoin. There's no difference. In fact, it's better because it's dollars and we can trade it with people in China and everybody else that likes dollars, which is everybody. And like, who needs Bitcoin? That's for losers. And nope,
Dubbed
turns
economic fury to go along with what is it, Operation Fury? Furious Hammer? What is that? I don't remember the name.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure it's got cool names that Trump came up with, or Trump chose out of a basket of names that his
Epic Fury.
handlers.
It's right. It's Epic Fury and Economic Fury.
Okay. So, yeah. So, which article do you got there?
This is the Tether article.
Okay. So, yeah, that's why Tron is not pirate money because, well, this doesn't really have anything to do with Tron, but it's got, although, if it was Tron tokens, well, it's a separate discussion.
Let's so
Tron
so
is
let's let's
Tron is a
back
proof of stake
let's back it
blockchain.
up. Let's
Yeah.
explain what is going on here. Like, what are we talking about? Why is there a Tron rolling back? What's going on with Tether? Like, what?
Well,
Start at the beginning. Start at the
Tron
beginning.
didn't do anything. That's
So,
just
so start at the beginning of the story. Like, what is this even about? Like, what are we even talking about? What do
well,
you?
the Strait of Hormuz
Okay.
and oil.
Okay.
Iran has been selling oil for crypto and for Chinese yuan and for gold.
Got it.
And
And
the United States wants Iran to sell oil for dollars.
right.
Well, ironically, they have been selling oil for dollars. Uh, Tether on Tron,
Is USDs.
USDT, and but Iran was too dumb to store that money in a way that is not freezable and seizable because they did not listen to us.
Yeah, they sure
And
didn't. And the U.S. said, "Hey,
therefore,
Tether, we want you to take that from them."
yeah. So Tether is a corporation and they have a CEO. I think their CEO might even be American.
No, I think he's
Um,
like Portuguese.
I know that 5% of Tether is owned by Cantor Fitzgerald. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that a significant portion of Cantor Fitzgerald is owned by Howard Lutnick,
Mm-hmm.
who is the Commerce Secretary of the United States.
Correct.
And I also know that all Tether tokens, no matter if they're on Ethereum or Solana or Tron or any other blockchain, the Tether tokens themselves are freezable and seizable and centralized, which is why they're freezable and seizable.
Yep.
Even if they're on a decentralized chain, such as Ethereum, or mostly decentralized chains, just Solana. Well, Solana's also, I should just say they're both decentralized chains as of right now. Um, the Ethereum token and Solana token is a lot harder to freeze and seize, but the Tether token is very easy to freeze and seize. And Tron is not a very decentralized blockchain anyway. Ethereum has 10,000 nodes or millions of 10,000 validators or millions of nodes, depending on how you count it. Um, Solana has 800 validators. Tron has like 8 or 20 or something. We can Google it and find out how many validators Tron has, but it's not very many. And Justin Sun controls some or all of those validators. It's basically, yeah, that's a good Google. How many validators does Tron have?
27.
27. Okay, that sounds about right.
That's enough for collusion for sure.
Yeah, so it's not very
That's
decentralized.
actually very easy to get some people to
And
collude.
I'm sure that more than one of those validators is run by Justin Sun,
Yeah.
if not more than 20, if not all 27, who knows. Point is, it doesn't matter. The point is that all Tether tokens, no matter which blockchain they're on, are freezable and seizable, and the United States froze and seized them. Those are our Tether tokens now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And hopefully the United States will turn it into Bitcoin and put it in the United States government strategic reserve. That would be the best thing they could do with it. Well, besides buying food for starving people or whatever. But
Yeah.
we're not doing that, obviously.
Healthcare.
That's not something that Trump or Howard Lutnick is interested in doing.
No.
But so that's why stablecoins are not pirate money. Um, Pirates have been using Tether on Tron as if it was pirate money. Now those are poor pirates. Um, and people might think, well, why is Dogecoin or Litecoin or any other Bitcoin fork? Why is that not pirate money since it's proof of work? Well, we have an article about Litecoin, don't we?
We do. Got it pulled up right here.
And this is recent. What's the date on this article?
April 27th. That's two
What was
days
that,
ago.
like yesterday?
2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Litecoin.
Litecoin rewrites transaction history. Like, bro, if you can rewrite your transaction history, you're just a bank.
Yeah,
Like,
and worse because your funds are not insured.
yeah, dude, like Litecoin is 100% pointless at this point.
Yeah, I mean
It's pointless.
it's a meme coin.
No, it's a lot different. Like, that's another thing I'm always pissed off about because I'm pissed off about silly things. Dogecoin is not the same as any other meme coin. Dogecoin and Litecoin are proof of work blockchains, which is very different from all the other meme coins. All the other meme coins are just tokens on a
Yeah.
blockchain. Like, being a token on a blockchain is very different from being a blockchain. Like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Tron, those are blockchains. Now, and those blockchains have their own native token, the Bitcoin token, the Ethereum on Bitcoin, the Ethereum token on Ethereum, Solana token on Solana. Those are the native token of the blockchain. Those tokens are used as gas money. If you make a Litecoin transaction, you have to spend Litecoin to do it, Litecoin tokens to do it. If you make an Ethereum transaction, you have to spend Ethereum tokens to do it. If you do a Bitcoin transaction, you spend Bitcoin tokens to do it. But you can't use a meme coin to make a Solana transaction. You need a Solana token to make a Solana transaction. You cannot.
You can't spend a meme coin for that same transaction. Oh, did I lose you, John?
Those are different from the Solana token, which powers the Solana blockchain. The Dogecoin token powers the Dogecoin chain. Unfortunately, Dogecoin is merge mined with Litecoin, and Litecoin is proven to be garbage. Here we go. And therefore, the Dogecoin and Dogecoin chain is also garbage at this point. Is this too easy to collude? It's not decentralized. It's too easy to collude. It's too easy to attack it. Um,
Yeah, you could just you could literally pay that many people to just do what you want them to do.
right. What Litecoin just did, you cannot do on Bitcoin. Satoshi Nakamoto cannot do what was just done on Litecoin. Larry Fink cannot do this to Bitcoin. Michael Saylor cannot do this to Bitcoin. Brian Armstrong cannot do this to Bitcoin. If you don't know who these people are, Brian Armstrong is the CEO of Coinbase. Larry Fink is the CEO of BlackRock, which is the largest asset manager on the planet, and they run the largest Bitcoin ETF on the planet, IBIT. And who's the other guy I mentioned?
Sailor,
Michael Saylor is the CEO of MicroStrategy, who
formerly MicroStrategy, now rebranded Strategy.
terrible rebrand in my opinion. Same as the rebrand of Twitter to X, also terrible.
Nevertheless, he runs Strategy, which is
Which has acquired
formerly
more Bitcoin than BlackRock has.
formerly MicroStrategy, which was MicroStrategy was a commercial enterprise software company, and they still I believe they still do it. They just have pivoted
Yes.
their pretty much their entire reason for existing into a Bitcoin treasury, and Michael Saylor likely intends to try to rework the bond market into Bitcoin bonds long term. That's my long term speculative bet on what he's doing.
Yeah, he's already doing it. It's happening right now.
Right. Um, well, the bonds still exist, but he's trying to. Yeah. Anyway, we don't need to get into but that's who Michael Saylor is. He's
Yeah, different discussion. But the point is that even though those people have a lot of Bitcoin, they cannot reorganize the Bitcoin chain.
not only that, but not only can they not do it, but even if all of them got together in a room and said, "Here's what we're gonna do," all of them together couldn't do it. Hello? Did I lose you? Hello, hello?
You hear me?
Yeah, there, now I can hear
Yeah, people already tried to do that in 2017, the block size wars, and they tried to change Bitcoin. And the best they could do was hard fork it. The best they could do was copy Bitcoin and hope that the general public would choose their version of Bitcoin as the true Bitcoin. And it didn't work. It didn't work for any of them. Bitcoin has been forked hundreds, if not thousands of times. Um, oh, fun fact, Jack, if you own Bitcoin on chain in a private wallet, what happens if there's a hard fork?
you. You get to choose.
Close. You get both.
Oh, that's right.
You get both.
I
You don't
thought
even
that was
have to
on.
you don't even have to choose, bro.
I
You
thought it,
just get both.
I thought you get both until you decide to use one.
No, you get both.
Oh, well then bring on all the hard forks in the world.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they used to do back in the day. They would like when Bitcoin Cash hard forked, you know what all the Bitcoiners did? They sold all their Bitcoin Cash and bought more Bitcoin. Like that's what they did.
Awesome.
Uh, I mean that's what people did when Litecoin was made. They uh whenever there's a hard fork of Bitcoin, I don't know if Litecoin was because they changed the algorithm a little bit. Litecoin might be its own beast, but I mean it definitely is a fork of Bitcoin. But
But it's merge
um
mined with Dogecoin, so
yeah, that happened later on. The merger of Dogecoin, I don't remember when that happened, maybe 2015 or something. But Litecoin is created in like Dogecoin was created in 2013. Litecoin was created in 2011, 2012, not even sure. But maybe Dogecoin was created in 2015. I don't remember. It's
Again,
old.
another episode. Yeah.
Yeah, all I know is that this is why Bitcoin is pirate money and Litecoin is not. This is why Bitcoin is pirate money and Tether is not. And what about one argument is, well, Bitcoin can't be pirate money because you can see the Bitcoin transactions. They're you can see who owns it when they cash it out, right?
That is what they say.
And so then you can go wrench attack. Like the United States, let's say Iran is holding some Bitcoin, the United States can go wrench attack that, and which I believe is what the United States did with Venezuela.
Right.
Venezuela was also selling oil for not US dollars. They were selling oil for gold and Bitcoin. And I think who are the two people that Trump kidnapped from Venezuela? Of all the people in Venezuela, who did he kidnap?
The president and his wife.
And his wife. Why the fuck did he kidnap his wife?
Because she's probably needed for as a second signer.
She's got the fucking private keys to the Bitcoin. Yes.
Yep.
Right? Because the
Yeah.
president of Venezuela, he's got his private keys. He's like, oh damn, if I get assassinated,
Yep. Somebody
I
need.
want my. He loves his wife. Good on
Mm-hmm.
him,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
He's like, well, I want my wife to have the Bitcoin at least.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, wifey, the private keys are in this notebook over here on the bookshelf.
Mm-hmm.
And just so you know, in case I get assassinated or Trump kidnaps me, make sure you get the Bitcoin out of there. Well, Trump kidnapped both of them.
Oops.
Wrench attack. That was a wrench attack. And they're still sitting in jail in Brooklyn or something.
Yep.
Probably because they haven't given up their Bitcoin yet. I'm not sure what they're going to do. They're probably hoping they can get out of it without losing their Bitcoin.
I don't think they're.
That's my only guess. Like that's the only thing that makes sense. Because like that whole like I'm I've lived almost half a century, Jack, and I've never heard of a president of a country getting kidnapped by us, the United States. Like this is crazy. Actually, no, I'm 100% wrong about that. We did it to Saddam Hussein. We
Well.
kidnapped Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
So never mind. This
And
actually I didn't even realize that. And why did we kidnap Saddam Hussein? Saddam Hussein was selling oil for not dollars, but there wasn't Bitcoin back then, so we didn't have to. So we gave him a sham trial and hanged him.
no, we didn't hang him. We
Sure,
did
we
give
did.
we did give him a sham trial. We gave him back to his people there in Iraq, and they hung him.
That might be true. I'm not sure where he. I know he got hung. I don't know where he got hung, but
I'm
yeah, we.
I'm pretty sure that I could be wrong, but
No,
that's
you. Yeah, I mean, we could have hung him in Iraq. Who cares? Yeah, probably put on a bigger show, hanging him in Iraq in front of his own people.
well, yeah, right. And allegedly there was a bunch of people that didn't, that were unhappy about him.
Of course.
So,
And also it's here's what happens when you don't sell your oil for dollars. Whoever is going to be in charge of Iraq,
all right.
right? So sell your oil for dollars, which they do now. But Venezuela and Iran didn't. So so there's a couple hard forks of Bitcoin that have privacy. One is Zcash, which is becoming a big deal. And I'm not sure about how decentralized or secure it is. I'm not going to mess with it yet. I'll watch. It's definitely something I watch and see. I bought $20 worth of Zcash just so I'm off of zero, but I'm not going to buy any more until I know more about
Yeah,
it.
I'm kind of with you there. Like I feel like I'm also like late. Like I don't, like that was something that was like, oh, and maybe I don't know how if it's come back down or whatever, but it's like every time I hear about it, it's already pumped, and I'm like, eh.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the price action. I'm more worried about is Litecoin going to get reorged. In fact, I think Litecoin had its own past, which um, I didn't dig up for this episode. But let's move on to Monero because I did dig up some dirt on Monero.
Is that what you did? You send me a Monero thing?
I hope so.
Where did my Damn it.
So Monero is a fork of Bitcoin, but they added privacy to it. I think they added ring signatures or something. So it's kind of like a tornado, like it's like a built-in tornado cache in block Bitcoin. Is kind of what Monero is. But oopsies, Monero
Cubic
got
claims
51% attacked by Cubic, which is like some stupid DeFi protocol with like $2 billion market cap or something, like or less. Like it's just Monero is not resistant enough to attack. Now, if Monero got bigger, like Bitcoin, you got a bigger market cap, more miners, maybe be harder to 51% attack it. But the fact that like just Cubic of all things could 51% attack it means Monero, yeah, it's got privacy, but you can 51% attack it. So it's not it's not durable. Like it's not immutable. It's you can change it. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can attack the whole chain. And the worst part about it, attacking Monero is you can't see any of the transactions on Monero because the transactions are not transparent on Monero, which is the whole point of Monero, is to keep it private. You don't know how many coins the fucking hacker has, right? If you reorg some Monero blocks, which I think happened in the 51% attack, I think they reorged some of the blocks. Somebody out there's got whoever Cubic, whoever hacked it, could have a bunch of Monero and nobody would ever know
Hmm.
because the transactions are all private. So you don't know how many Monero they might have stolen or moved or whatever. And that's a problem. At least with Bitcoin, it's not private, but that's a double-edged sword. Because Bitcoin's not private, you know that there's no funny business going on because you can see it. You can see all the business.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stop the business, but you can see it. With Monero, you can't see the business, but you can stop it, which is like not helpful. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
That's why Monero's not pirate money. Even though Monero would be better pirate money if it was as secure as Bitcoin, but it's not as secure as Bitcoin.
Clearly.
So it's just, I mean, it's just Bitcoin at this point.
Yeah, that's a valid
Bitcoin
point
is the
too.
pirate money. There is no other, there is, as Michael Saylor says, there is no second best.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is the pirate money. There is no second best. That's all there is to it.
Yep, that's a fact. I mean, there is not anything else that can be, you know,
International pirate money
yeah, well,
that can withstand North Korea and the United States and whatever else in
yeah,
China. And, nobody can mess with it.
yeah. The only thing on the horizon is the quantum concern, but it's addressable. But like, you know,
Oh, I got a lot to say about quantum concern. I'm gonna bat that down right now. We should we'll do a whole episode on it. But what I'm gonna say is, um, with quantum, first of all, everything else is easier to attack with quantum than Bitcoin.
right.
The banks, the governments, businesses, you whatever money you have in whatever wherever you have it, all of that is more hackable. Bitcoin is the least hackable computer network on the planet. Quantum is a threat to everything else before it can even get to Bitcoin. So to have like, oh no, Bitcoin's primary threat is quantum is silly. Like every to then say like, oh, nothing else is threatened by it. The only thing threatened by quantum is Bitcoin is false. Bitcoin is the last thing to be threatened by Bitcoin. Now, maybe in 50 years, could quantum attack Bitcoin or 10 or 5 years, whatever? Yeah, probably. Eventually, according to Google, right? There eventually quantum will be good enough to attack Bitcoin. Is that a problem? Yes, I agree. That's a problem. Can we ignore that? No. Bitcoin is supposed to be a store of value. If it's going to be hacked in 20 years, it's not a good store of value. However, all we need to do is a fork, and it could be a soft fork or a hard fork. If it's a soft fork to fix the problem, then problem solved, nothing to worry about. If it's a hard fork, well, that's when you want to be holding your Bitcoin in an on-chain private wallet because then you own both forks, as we already discussed. You can
Yep.
have the original fork and you can have the new quantum resistant fork, and you have both.
Yep. And
You don't even have to choose. You don't even have to sell one to the other. You instantly automatically hold both. You
yep,
don't have to do anything as
there
long as
are
you hold. So, uh, and they already know, the Bitcoin developers already, you know, it's not that hard to make it quantum resistant. It's just a fork. It could be a soft fork or a hard fork, and that's what they're going to do when the time comes. They'll do a fork. If it's a hard fork, it's going to be messy, right? You're going to have another fork war. It's going to be the quantum fork wars, right? As opposed to the block size wars of 2017. And something will come out the winner. And if you held your Bitcoin on chain, you're going to have all of the chains, all of the forks, and including the winner. You don't have to worry about it. You're going to have it. Um, and if it's a soft fork, then even if you're holding your Bitcoin on Coinbase, like, you'll be fine because the soft fork means it's within the same the same protocol. Like Taproot was a soft fork. All it did was it enabled Lightning Network to be functional on top of Bitcoin. Whereas if you had like an original Bitcoin address, it still works fine. It's backwards compatible. Like, you can send Bitcoin from an old address to a Taproot address back to another different old address, and it's all fine. It's all the same thing. It's all Bitcoin. It's just that the Taproot address has the ability to run the Lightning Network on top of it if you so choose. Right. So if they do a quantum safe soft fork, then if you have your Bitcoin in an old address, well, you got to deal with quantum computing. But if you have it in a new quantum safe soft fork address, you'll be fine. And that's your choice, what you want to do with that. If it's a hard fork, like I said, you're going to own all of the forks. Um, you're going to automatically own all of the forks. So it's really it's a non-issue. It's straight up FUD. It couldn't be more FUD. Your Bitcoin is going to be safe because they're going to fork to fix it. Soft or hard, doesn't matter. It'll fix it. And what really needs, what about JP Morgan? Why is there not, oh, better pull your money out of JP Morgan because quantum's coming? Because it is. Quantum is going to hack JP Morgan before it hacks Bitcoin. Quantum's going to hack Visa before it hacks Bitcoin. It's going to hack Quantum's going to hack Wells Fargo before it hacks Bitcoin. Quantum's going to hack the federal government of the United States before it hacks Bitcoin. You name it. You name the entity, the government or the corporation or the computer network, it's going to get hacked before Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the most secure computer network on the planet. Now, is it unhackable? No, no. Eventually, maybe quantum can hack it. And again, we can fork. So I feel like I'm repeating myself.
you are repeating yourself. Do you mind if I say a few things?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I've been trying to for a while, but every time
Sorry.
I start, you just keep going. So I was like, all right, I'm
Sorry.
just gonna
Sorry.
let him run out of steam here.
Yeah, okay. I'm done.
So here's the thing. It's not just FUD. It's not. There's a legitimate concern, and it's something that really does need to be addressed. It's not just FUD. There is concern,
Yeah,
and
they need to make a fork.
that it's beyond that. It's more than that. That isn't enough. And the reason why it
No.
isn't enough is because there's more of a threat to Bitcoin than just can you take my coins, or can you take John's coins, or can you take anybody's specific coins? What about Satoshi era wallets that haven't
Right.
moved?
Well, and a hard fork would protect
What is
Satoshi's coins.
a hard fork would
A hard fork would, yes.
would if everybody went that way, right?
Well,
If they go that way,
and people
if they
and people can
decide,
choose,
yeah,
right?
right, they can, and so like this is why it's even more of a threat than just can some coins get taken, because it can cause an existential threat to the network itself by fracturing it to the point where maybe one or both are weak enough to be 51% attacked, or beyond that, like just imagine what happens to the price if the coins do get taken. right? Maybe it is all that's needed, but like there's nobody working on it right now. There are people that are trying to get it done, but like we don't have a proposal. There's no proposals as far as I'm aware. And
Not
so
yet. No.
yeah, so like, the thing is it's like, yeah, you were like 50 years from now, and then you're like, well, 10 years from now. And then you're like, well, no, wait, 5 years from now. And the reality of it is it could be a year and a half from now.
Sure.
It could be. And so like if we're and like I said, as far as I know, there aren't any proposals out there right now. So there is a legitimate concern. It's not just FUD, right? Like, yes, there are things we can do to correct it, but I personally cannot. I'm not personally working on it. I don't know anybody that can or is working on it. So like I hope that someone does, but hope is not a strategy.
Well, here's the strategy, Jack. You can send, so if you have Bitcoin, wherever you have it, you can have it in a private wallet that you've been using or Coinbase or
And
wherever.
oh, sorry, real quick before I forget, because you also commented about how it's a bigger threat to everything else except Bitcoin, which that may or may not be the case. And I'm sure that anybody that would want to use a quantum computer to hack would have other targets that they would prefer to hit before Bitcoin. I agree with that. But what I will say is that those are all centralized organizations, all the ones that you mentioned, JP Morgan, the US government,
Yes.
and they can make much more nimble action to prevent it. Like they can do it in an hour and a half, you know.
Yes.
Or I'm
No,
and
agreed.
I'm I'm exaggerating for effect, but like, it would take a number of days maybe. But like Bitcoin, there's months long processes that would need to take place, but for everybody that's in all the different voting, and yeah, so it's like we need to get this needs to get started. Like it needs to happen sooner than later because one thing that I am keenly aware of is that the breakthroughs are always a little bit closer than you think and a little bit further away than you think at the same time. And so, like they can sneak up on you. And so, anyways, that's the thing. And so yeah, that's I think what I wanted to mention was that like yes, there are other companies and organizations that would be a better target for someone using that, but they can fix it faster. And so it leaves, and then of course it's really easy to protect individual. Yes, everybody that wants to can switch over and use this from now on, and your coins are safe. But any coins that are not being monitored or taken care of are not safe. They can be collected, and even if like they hard fork, like quantum computing could still theoretically go after wallets that for lost wallets, like things that are on chain but haven't moved in forever. Like, and so you end up in a situation where you have this problem of coins becoming active again, and really what it comes down to is it's like oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. It has to do with forget it. Anyways, that's it. That's all. I guess that's all
Okay.
I had to
I've
say about
got
it.
two things to say. Three things. The first thing to say is I agree with almost everything you said. The second thing is I only disagree with one thing, and that was what happens in a hard fork. Um, and I'll just start with that. So I agree with most things you said, but in a hard fork, um, so a hard fork creates two chains. Like Bitcoin Cash was a hard fork from Bitcoin. It created two chains, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. And once you hard fork, like let's pretend we make Bitcoin Quantum, right? That's the hard fork. The quantum safe chain is Bitcoin Quantum. And Bitcoin Quantum is an exact copy of Bitcoin, including the addresses and how much Bitcoin is in the wallets, including Satoshi's wallets. And on Bitcoin Quantum, Satoshi's coins would be safe. That's the whole point of doing the hard fork is to make those coins and all the rest of the coins and the whole chain safe from quantum attack. That would be the point of the hard fork. Otherwise, why even bother doing the hard fork? Is to do that. And then now, could quantum attack Satoshi's coins on the old chain? Yes, they could. That's why we did the hard fork.
Well,
and
but
and the old chain becomes irrelevant.
Well, maybe, or maybe it doesn't, because maybe people go, "Hey, this is the one that is
And you can use
actually."
Bitcoin Classic, right? Like it
Yeah.
would become Bitcoin. That's what
Maybe,
Ethereum is.
or maybe Bitcoin Quantum goes the way of those, and this other one where the bad guys get the money is the one that everybody stays on. Either way, that's a problem either way.
And here's the solution to that problem, Jack. If you send your Bitcoin right now to a new address and then let it sit there, if you don't spend those coins once the address receives coins, and you can send more than one transaction to that wallet. You just can't send any coins out of that wallet. As long as you don't send coins out of that wallet, you're not exposing your public keys. The way the quantum breaks Bitcoin theoretically, the way it will break Bitcoin in the future theoretically, this is not Bitcoin is still rock solid right now. Quantum cannot break Bitcoin right now. Well, not anytime soon. It'll be at least years. Um, at least a year, probably more.
At least six
Um,
months.
at least, yeah, at least before the end of this video.
Right.
Um,
In fact, you better get on it.
depending on how long I talk for, right? Hopefully, I don't talk longer than it takes quantum to crack Bitcoin. But like, uh, the way quantum break will theoretically break Bitcoin is by seeing a public key and then deriving the
That's right.
private key from the public key. But if you have a Bitcoin address that you have not spent any coins, or if you have a Bitcoin address that has only received coins but not sent any coins, then if that's the case, nobody can see the public keys of that address.
So then you can't use your Bitcoin?
You can use it because you have the private keys.
What I'm saying then it'll
And
be
and you have the public keys. You
then
have
you
the
will
public keys and
then
the
you
private
will have,
keys.
but then you will have sent Bitcoin out of that wallet.
If you use it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If you want to use the coins in that wallet, but not all of them at once, right?
Yeah, so then
Now you've got to deal with getting a new wallet again and memorizing a
yes,
whole new
yes.
mnemonic phrase. And
You have your quantum safe wallet, and then you have your dirty wallets, right? Which is annoying and stupid and makes Bitcoin even
well,
shittier than it already
it's like
is.
every wallet that you use becomes a garbage wallet immediately after
Yes,
you use it, and so
yes,
you're constantly, and so yeah, that's a problem.
and that's yes. That is a problem, which is why it would be nice if there was a soft fork or a hard fork. And again, in the case of a hard fork, if you have that quantum safe address that you haven't moved yet, you can
Which
just kind of hunker down and wait and see what
yeah,
happens.
I'm not worried about my coins. It's the larger stacks of coins that I'm worried about. Like I'm
Right.
just so anybody listening is wondering, I don't hold enough Bitcoin to be worth a wrench attack. So you know, I'm not worried about my coins being collected
Right.
by the
Well, we're
AI
talking about,
overlords.
yeah, and
But
you mean Satoshi, and you're right. It's the only way Satoshi's coins probably would not be safe in a soft fork because they're in an old address,
right, and
which
so
is
they.
why they're vulnerable. I think this vulnerability stopped being a thing back in like 2010 or 2011.
What do you mean?
But Satoshi's coins are from like
Oh, yeah,
original
they
wallets.
fixed the. Yeah, I hear you.
Um,
Yeah, that's why I said yeah, Satoshi
because
era
they
because
were mined while in a way when Bitcoin was sharing public keys of mined coins back then.
right.
Because the other, yeah, that's even though coins have not been spent from those wallets, they're still vulnerable because they were mined before a certain update. Bitcoin has had updates like the Taproot upgrade and other
Hmm.
things.
SegWit.
And SegWit, yep.
I think
Seg-
SegWit's the one that has made it
enabled
okay.
enabled
Yeah.
Lightning, and Taproot enabled some more things, whatever. Yeah, you're right. And so yes, the only way Satoshi's coins would be safe would be a hard fork, and a hard fork is going to be contentious, just like you said,
Right.
just like the block size wars were.
So
It is going to be like that.
no matter what, there's trouble on the horizon.
Yeah,
Even if we fix it, there's still trouble on the horizon.
yeah, and bro, like having trouble on the horizon is not good for price.
No.
you're making me sick to my stomach. I'm like, oh God, I should just dump it now. I should just
Mm,
get rid of my
no,
Bitcoin.
no, because
Fuck. No, you're right. It is going to be contentious because now
I would say I would
I
say
would
that
vote for
you've
a
got
soft
an
fork.
I bet you've got another cycle before that happens.
Well, and Jack, I would vote for a soft fork, and then everybody's coins would be safe except for Satoshi's, and let some quantum computer hack the coins, dump them on the market. We take a giant price hit, and then it'll be fine after that.
Yeah, so that's kind of I think that that's kind of where I fall on the subject too, is like I'm more of a
That
I
would work out best.
like we should just let this be what it is, right? This is pirate money. You can't if pirate money gets
Pirates,
stolen,
yeah,
if somebody goes and they like here's the thing, there's tons of gold sitting on the ocean floor,
right.
right? Like we wouldn't be mad if somebody with some diving gear and maybe a submarine came by and like spent all the time and money and effort and manpower and collected that gold, which nobody else could because they had the technological advantage. Like
And they spent the money to do it. Like
right,
quantum computers are
we
not free.
we wouldn't begrudge them that gold that they found. We would admire them for being able to get that back.
Hmm.
I kind of look at it like that, I think, where it's like, okay, so somebody uses a quantum computer to go get some Satoshi era wallets. All right, cool. What are they doing with it?
They're going to sell it, obviously.
I mean,
They got to pay for that
maybe
quantum computer.
maybe I'd love it if they sold it, right? Because that means more Bitcoin for me.
Right.
But
Yeah, it's just going to be a temporary price hit and it'd be a blip on the radar long term, right? It wouldn't even matter.
that's kind of what I think. But I'm worried I mean, I think like you that would be the best solution, and that we would get through the pain the fastest.
Yeah.
But but I worry that that won't be what happens because people are going to have some sort of entitled to fairness sense that like they want to take steps to avoid unfairness.
Well, the only way to stop that is to hard fork.
Right, which
And
I
then people vote with their feet, just like they did with Bitcoin Cash.
right, which causes a separate set of problems. So it's like I kind of just rather, all right, let the computer take the money and spend it.
Yeah, another thing is Satoshi's coins are not all in one wallet. In fact, most of the wallets only have 50 Bitcoin in them because back then it was a 50 Bitcoin block reward. So there's all these wallets that have 50 Bitcoin. These
Right,
all these
that makes
wallets
sense.
where it mined one block and then it moved on, and then he mined the next block with a different wallet. So maybe let's say there's, and I mean, this would be another Google, like how many wallets are there of Satoshi coins in them? Like, what is the average amount of Bitcoin in each wallet? What is the amount of Bitcoin in the biggest wallet? Things like that. If it's spread out over a bunch of wallets, the ability for quantum computing to capture Satoshi wallets and coins, probably more than one person will attempt this at a time. And probably, North Korea is going to get a wallet. China is going to get 10 wallets. United States is going to get 10 wallets, like whatever. Google is going to get a couple wallets. Like it'll be spread out anyway. What does that say? It's too small on my spoon.
20,000 to 25,000 wallets
Right.
that have been inactive for over a decade, holding roughly 1.1 to $2 million worth of Bitcoin.
Total.
These early mining wallets commonly hold 50 Bitcoin per address from the original block rewards.
Yep. So there it is. So, while someone, Kim Jong Un is using his national quantum computer to hack one of the wallets, well, Google's going to use their quantum computer to hack one at the same time, and China is going to use 10 of their quantum computers to hack 10
I
wallets, and
bet
like
you, I bet you if Google does it, it'll be in conjunction with the United States government.
probably right. And yeah, the United States government's going to get some of them. Like I don't think it's likely that one person is going to get all of Satoshi's coins. I mean, it's possible. Like maybe one person figures it out in their basement. But the thing is, the quantum computer that can do this is not going to be in someone's basement. It's going to be
Right.
at NASA or something, right? It's
Right. And
going to
if
be at
it's
Google or at
and
Tesla or at NASA.
and if it's at those places, then it's not going to do it, right?
No, they should for sure do it before Kim Jong Un does it.
Well, maybe, but that like who decides? Who gets to decide?
The president of the United States hopefully will decide, and they'll be like, you know what, just do it, get the coins, put it in the United States Strategic Reserve, and be done with it. That would be great. I mean, that's
I mean,
wishful
that's
thinking, but
yeah,
it's possible.
yeah, that's a very interesting. See, we should have just waited because look at how much of this we've actually spent time talking about now.
Well, we probably have to break it up into two episodes.
All right, well, we should wrap it up there though. We've been on for 45 minutes.
Yeah, I think a soft fork with getting slapped in the face by Satoshi's coins temporarily is one option, and I think a highly contentious hard fork, and who knows what direction that goes, is the other option. And a person can be safe from all of it by putting your Bitcoin in a wallet and just letting it sit there and stop screwing around with it, no matter what the stupid price chart says.
Yeah, no matter what that silly white paper says about using it as peer-to-peer currency.
Well, it didn't say that. Well, Iran and China are peers. They can send Bitcoin back and forth.
Yeah.
But Jack and John, we're peers, but we're not peers with Iran and China and Michael Saylor, right? Like the Bitcoin can only do 3.5 transactions per second. That means average Joe is not one of those peers. The peers are countries, corporations, and wealthy individuals. Those are the peers that get to use Bitcoin. There's only maybe like 100,000 people can use Bitcoin once a day, something like that. So if you're not in the top 100,000 Bitcoin holders,
That's not true. You can use the Lightning Network for, you know.
yep, there you go. Maybe that's where the plebs get to participate in the peer to peer.
So if we use the Lightning Network, does that mean that is that quantum proofed?
I believe it is,
Okay.
but I'm not sure about that. And if it's not, that'd be easy to fix.
Well, all of it's not too terribly difficult, but that seems like maybe the best solution, right? Just throw everything you got into a Lightning Network, but that doesn't help. That still doesn't do anything for the Satoshi or wallet, so that's we're kind of back to like, well, you and I are
Yeah.
cool with just letting it get hacked, but like most people probably aren't. They don't want that going to the like what if it goes to the wrong people, right? Like that's the argument. And so, yeah, they want to
Well, and it's pirate money, bro. Like there already is Bitcoin in the hands of the wrong people. Like
yeah, they
that's
don't
how
that's
pirate
en-
money works.
but that'll be
That
enough money that it's like
there's
uh
gold in the hands of the wrong people. There's
but
US dollar
yeah,
cash in the
yeah,
hands.
it's not about them holding Bitcoin. It's about holding that Bitcoin and what that Bitcoin represents as an immediate injection for capital,
Well, and that's why I mean, honestly, it'd be better if the quantum computing happens sooner rather than later.
right?
Because right now, what is that? 1 to 2 million Bitcoin is worth whatever, 70 to 140 billion dollars.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money, but it's not going to change anything in the world.
I
Like that's
mean,
one large
it it
corporation. That's
it
about it.
it might change it might change the nature of things if the wrong people got that money. Like that's enough money to be a significant game changer for certain places and certain
Well,
people.
even if okay, let's say North Kim Jong Un got that money. Like, what's he going to do with?
Or some Iranians.
Sure.
Uh,
What if Iran
yeah,
gets that money? Then what?
yeah. I mean, well, at current, it won't matter. They're in
I mean,
well,
they can buy 140 billion dollars of military equipment from China
yeah,
and Russia.
yeah. Yeah. In a peacetime scenario, though, they could
Which,
enrich that.
well,
They could pay for the enrichment of their uranium,
sure, sure.
which is what they really want to do, I'm sure.
Which we could just bomb
Yeah, we
their
could,
whatever location they're doing that in.
but it didn't work very well for us last time.
That worked great. It's buried under a bunch of rubble.
Is it? We're not really sure.
Sure, we got So you can watch it on Google Earth. You can see it on the satellite. It's a pile of rubble.
You can see the pile of rubble, but
Yes,
but we're not
and
really
you could.
we're not really sure that the uranium is under there.
Well, we are. Yeah, it's there. We just have to, and we are watching to see that whether or not they're digging it up. What we should do is go in and dig it up ourselves and get it out of there. But that takes work, and we're not really,
It takes a lot of risking of lives too,
Yes, the military would have to do that.
which is not a easy task.
No, which is why we're just going with we'll monitor it and bomb it again if we need to.
Again,
The current plan, which is
I've
not a good plan.
I've heard from the who are the I forgot what the fucking name of the organization that monitors nuclear stuff, but they were interviewed when that Midnight Hammer, I think, when that went down and we bombed, like they were like, well, we're not actually sure that they had much uranium. There was some, but like they have quite a bit of uranium, and we don't believe that there was anywhere near that amount of it in that facility. I mean, the United States pretty much telegraphed that strike. Like we didn't want to kill a bunch of people.
Right. We just wanted to stop the uranium.
Hmm. But in so telegraphing, in my mind, it's like, well, throw the Iranian in that case, put him on the golf cart, and head down that tunnel.
Right. No, totally. I agree with you. Right.
So like, I'm
That's
like, well, maybe they still have it. Like,
right. No, you're absolutely right. That's actually likely.
and so I'm just like, well, and right now they're not gonna be able to build a new facility right now, but like them getting that money, maybe that allows them to obfuscate what they're doing by building two different, things one on top of the other at the same time, and it is able to confuse, intelligence services. Probably not. I mean, we'll probably suss it out, but like you never know, and maybe they're able to build the infrastructure that'll allow them to keep their enrichment, secret and not be seen from the various and sundry different you know radio waves and infrared and ultraviolet and all the different sensor methods we have to look. Maybe they encase everything in lead.
Okay, Jack, you've convinced me that it is bad if North Korea or Iran gets Satoshi's coins.
It's just bad if the wrong people do.
So that does leave a hard fork. Um, what I'm thinking is, okay, when Ethereum was proof of work, Ethereum hard forked one time.
Yep.
When a bunch of their coins got stuck in a smart contract hack,
Mm-hmm.
and um, the new fork became Ethereum. The hackers, uh, the fork with the original Ethereum with the hackers' coins on it, became Ethereum Classic, which
Mm-hmm.
still exists.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't do much of anything, and I highly recommend not
Picking up any of that
lighting
coin.
your money on fire and buying any. But um, uh,
But it's there.
it's there. Just like Bitcoin Classic would always be there with some quantum hacker holding Satoshi's original coins, taunting everybody on Earth with them. But
Haha.
Ethereum Classic is not worth anything. It doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
The active chain of Ethereum, the active fork, and they've hard forked Ethereum a bunch of times after that for upgrades. Um, and they even hard forked it into proof of stake, which to me makes it much less valuable than it was as a proof of work chain. I think they really screwed up when they did that.
I agree. I agree.
But so if Bitcoin has a hard fork, I mean, again, if you hold it on chain in a private wallet, you'll have both. So you could just wait it out to see whichever fork wins, because it's going to be more than one hard fork, right? You know that every clown with a computer is going to make their own Bitcoin hard fork and claim it's the new Bitcoin, right? So like we're gonna have to just wait it out.
Boy, it's gonna get Law of the Jungle.
Yeah, no, it's going to be 2017 all over again, and then one will come out on top, either the original or one of the forks, and people are going to be like, all right, we're just going to use this one for reasons, and you'll have all of them, and then you can just use the one that you want to use.
Yeah, yeah. That's how we will stay safe. Make sure you go get yourself, not you, John, just whoever's listening, go get a new wallet and put your coins in it. And then if you have to spend any of those coins, you better get yourself a new wallet after that.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do, Jack. I think I'm just gonna park the majority of my Bitcoin in a wallet and just never touch it again. Um, I mean, it is making me a little bit sick to my stomach. Like, honestly, like I'm like, okay, hold on. Maybe it would be better to wait until after the quantum fix. Like, why go through the risk of dealing with Bitcoin now before all this happens?
Well, I'll tell you what, and this is we got to wrap it up. We've been here an hour, um, but I'll tell you the way I'm thinking about it, and that is I'm paying real close attention to quantum computing. Like, I'll give you another tease. If you haven't heard of helium-3, you should look it up. It is a byproduct of nuclear reactions that we use for all sorts of different, like really high technical shit. And one of those things is quantum computing. We use it for the cooling, I think, of the silicone wafers that are used for the qubit processing. I think I could be a little off on that, but either way,
I
it's
think
used in
you're right.
cooling. But so this stuff is incredibly expensive and it's hard to come by because it's only a byproduct of certain nuclear reactions. And it goes for about, oh, I think it's around 20, $25 million for a kilogram, or yeah, kilogram of the stuff, kilogram. Anyways, so like it's incredibly valuable, and we are planning on harvesting it from the moon. I don't know if you were aware of that. Maybe you were, but there's it gets caught in the regolith from the solar radiation,
Oh wow.
and so
Well,
for the
what is that word you used? Regolith? What?
the regolith, the soil stuff on the moon,
Oh,
it gets just caught in the first 3 meters of it.
oh,
Just
there's helium-3 in the moon.
yeah, just like in the soil of the
Oh
moon.
wow.
And so it's like the only thing that we found that'll actually like economically justify going there.
Right.
Like there's a business case for it because it's so expensive
Wow.
and so valuable and there's such a high demand for it and we're only going to need more.
Right.
So like this is what so I'm paying attention to quantum computing stuff like a hawk as closely as I can
Wow.
because I need to know when quantum becomes really a threat. It's not now, right? Like there are a few people that have these things, but like you said, they're corporations or maybe some governments. But like these things don't even work that well right now, right? Like they're we can see their potential, but like it's so hard to keep the qubits in stasis. Like they come apart real easily, and they're really hard to kind of. But that's getting better, and as that does, like it becomes more of a concern and more of a concern, and pretty soon when you hear them like we got a 20-minute runtime, okay, shit, now it's time to do something. When you can keep them that, I guess functional for that long, uh, then I've got to be worried that that's enough time to perform some sort of super high level calculation that is only, you know,
Well, Bitcoin only has a 10-minute block time, so they have
right,
to crack a block within 10 minutes.
right. which 20 minutes of runtime on might be enough.
Right.
So, anyways, we'll have a whole time, a whole other episode, but we are literally on like 5 seconds until the hour. So I think
All
I'm
right.
gonna go ahead and call it, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks, Jack.
All right, later.